So a panicked Donald Trump was on Air Force One, and he was desperate to get across the idea that I've been totally exonerated. I don't know what the Epstein files. I don't even know what the Epstein files are, but I know I've been exonerated. And that's what. And you know what? It's actually showing all the Democrats are guilty, but I'm not guilty. So that's what I've seen. People are saying I'm totally exonerated. So this is desperation. This is panic. This is him knowing that people are catching on to what actually happened. Listen to this back and forth. Here we go.
So Hillary Clinton said in an interview today that she and her husband are getting pulled into the Epstein matter to divert attention from you and that your administration has something to hide. What's your response to that?
I have nothing to hide. I've been exonerated. I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. They went in hoping that they'd find it and found just the opposite. I've been totally exonerated. In fact, Jeffrey Epstein was fighting that I don't get elected with some author. The sleazebag, by the way. And I've been totally exonerated. No, they're getting pulled in. And that's their problem. I don't know. They're going to have to see what happens. But I watched her in Munich, and she seriously has Trump derangement syndrome.
Do you think that you should publicly testify?
I've been totally exonerated on Epstein.
He keeps saying totally exonerated.
And it's really interesting because they've been pulled in. Think of it. They've been pulled in. Clinton and many other Democrats have been pulled in, yeah.
So I saw somebody on Twitter said Bill Clinton was mentioned 1,800 times in the Epstein files. Yeah, Donald Trump was mentioned 1,000,000 times. It's like 900-something thousand times. 1,800 versus 1,000,000. It was bad enough in the redacted version of the Epstein files when only like 1% was released. In the redacted version, he was mentioned 38,000 times, which is more times than Jesus is mentioned in the Bible. Okay? And he's like, the Democrats have been pulled in. They're the ones who are really getting caught, aren't they? 1,800 times versus 1,000,000 times. Spare me this nonsense. So I can't, look, I need everybody to share this video far and wide because I'm about to break down for you just how exonerated Trump really was in the Epstein files, like he seems to think he is. He doesn't actually think so. He's just pretending. But Donald Trump was Epstein's best friend for a decade, and we know that because Epstein is on a literal audio tape saying that, okay? Trump was on Epstein's plane 8 times that we know of, and he went to the island. This is all in the files. The first time Trump and Melania had sex was on the Lolita Express, which is Epstein's plane. Epstein knew the inner workings of the Trump White House in the first term. And again, we have that on literal audio tape. Trump and Epstein shared a girlfriend, y'all. They shared a girlfriend. Epstein also passed off a 20-year-old girl to Trump in 1993. All of this stuff is recorded. All of this stuff is in the files. All this stuff is in the reporting that's happened around the files. Trump wrote that creepy love letter to Epstein on his birthday and drew a picture of what looked like a prepubescent girl and said, let every day be another wonderful secret, Jeffrey. We sure do have a lot of things in common, don't we? We sure. What are those things, Don? Care to elaborate? Do you care to elaborate? How about this one? People don't talk about this one a lot, but we learned this in the files. Trump offered Epstein a job in his first term. He offered Epstein a job in his first term. Epstein allegedly learned some of the tricks of human trafficking from Trump's teenage modeling agency. Epstein wanted to also do a teenage modeling agency and model it after Trump's agency, okay? This is the stuff they don't want you to know. This is the stuff Trump is terrified of getting out there where everybody's talking about it. Trump hosted a private event with teen models at Mar-a-Lago, and there was one other person there, Jeffrey Epstein. Never mind the fact, Michael Wolff told us, Epstein showed him a picture of Trump where Trump is surrounded by girls of an uncertain age, is the terminology he used, and I think one of them was bending over and pointing at him and laughing, and he had a stain on his pants. I wonder what kind of stain was on his pants. There's a picture of Trump buying a girl from Epstein, a depreciated girl from Epstein. He was giving him a big check at Mar-a-Lago to buy that girl. Trump was still close with Epstein in his first term, despite lying about the fact that he broke up with him way before then, okay? Remember, Epstein started leaking stuff to the media about Trump before he died in the custody of the feds. He was just starting to say stuff, and he died in the custody of Donald J. Trump. In 2011, Trump spent hours with an Epstein victim at Epstein's house. And we know that because of an Epstein email that came out from 2011 where he says exactly that. Trump's at the house right now, and he's there with one of the victims, and he's been there for hours. Which means, since Epstein's houses are bugged, they have tapes, they have videos, they have tapes, they have pictures, they have everything you can imagine of Trump committing crimes. Trump doesn't want you to know about Katie Johnson and the lawsuit from 2016 about how in 1994, Epstein and Trump allegedly raped a 13-year-old girl. We've covered her full testimony. He doesn't want you to know about the limo driver in Dallas who says that Trump talked to Epstein on the phone about, quote, abusing girls. He doesn't want you to know that Epstein knew everything about Mar-a-Lago's finances, including potential mortgage fraud. He didn't want you to know that Epstein has a full drawer dedicated to Trump pictures and documents. And by the way, the DOJ posted it, and then when they realized it got out there, they pulled it down. They removed over 600 files just the other day that involve Donald Trump. This is what he doesn't want you to know. He doesn't want you to know that Mar-a-Lago was subpoenaed in the Ghislaine Maxwell investigation because they thought that was the hub of the child trafficking. He doesn't want you to know that Bannon had a picture of Trump with Trump and Ghislaine on a plane in 2021. That's how recent. He doesn't want you to know that there's that FBI intake form about how Trump raped a girl named Dusty in 2000 from Oklahoma, and she was found with her head blown off, and the police said they didn't think it was suicide. He doesn't want you to know about the Trump Princess Riverboat Casino in Lake Michigan and what that was allegedly used for. This is all the stuff. Okay, everything I just went through for you, that's not even 50% of the claims against Trump that are in the Epstein files, in the Epstein emails, and in the surrounding reporting, including the Michael Wolff stuff. That's not even 50% of it. And this motherfucker has the nerve to say, I'm exonerated. Exonerated my ass cheeks, son. You're not even, you're the opposite, okay? You've been outed as a disgusting, Jack Nasty sewage pig in this, okay? Let's wake up to that fact. So, share that far and wide because people need to know. The reason he says it, the reason he repeats it is to try to give his base on, oh yeah, exonerated, exonerated, exonerated. He says it so many times, people go, oh yeah, exonerated. It becomes like a Pavlovian response when people hear it. But no, we can't let him get away with it. We can't let him redefine reality. We can't let him lie so brazenly. We need to tell the truth. And shame on the media for not saying what I'm saying right now. Everybody should be saying what I'm saying right now because I'm just giving facts. I'm just giving information. I'm just giving stuff we actually learned from the Epstein files, okay? Spread it as far as you can. All right, guys, that's the show. I love you all very much, man. Thank you, as always, for listening to me. Do me a big favor, y'all. Please subscribe to the channel. That helps out massively. You have no idea how much it helps out. You can also support the show on Patreon. That link is below, or tip with that thanks button on YouTube. Remember, I'm Real Independent Media. Never did an advertisement, never did an ad read or anything like that. Never talked to an advertiser. Very proud of that fact. You guys support the show. The way it works is you fund it from the ground up, and we have the default ads on YouTube, and that's it. I'm very proud of what we built here, and you guys made it possible, so thanks again for all the support. You can also sign up for Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack, and you can go sub to the Corin's World YouTube channel where we do live Kyle and Corin episodes almost every Monday, but Corin's on vacation for 2 weeks, so we'll be back not next week, but the week after that. But I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Everybody have a great rest of your day, man. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.